Hi, all of you. In this video, we are going to discuss question number 31 of cash flow statement. It's given in your material in page number 78. And it is an important and a nice question, or rather you can say a unique type of question. So first, let us read the question and then let us find out what is the uniqueness in this question. Just let me give you a heads up. The uniqueness is only the way the question has been presented to us. That is the only uniqueness. So let's read it. The following are the changes in the account balance taken from the balance sheet of PQ Limited at the beginning and at the end of the year. So they have given us the changes in the account balance taken from the balance sheet. Till now, whatever questions we did, they used to give us a balance sheet to us. And in that balance sheet, they used to give us opening figure, one column wherein opening balances of the liabilities and assets will be there, and one column wherein they will give us closing figures. And then they used to ask us to prepare cash flow statement using this balance sheet and additional information. So what we used to do, we used to read each and every item on the face of balance sheet, and we used to compare the opening and closing balance, and we used to find out the difference. And subject to any additional information, we used to write that part in appropriate heading. For example, equity share capital 100 and closing balance if it is 150. The difference will be taken as issue of equity share capital, and that difference will be put in the financing activity. And if opening is also 100 and closing is also 100, then there is no issue, there is no buyback. In this question, what they have done, instead of giving us the opening and closing balances separately, they have given the difference between the opening and closing balance. They have given the change. This is the reason this is a unique question. The way they have formed or created the question is unique. They have given directly the difference. They are telling equity share capital difference between opening and closing balance is 0. Then P&L account, opening and closing balance difference. So in this question, they have given us the difference between the opening and closing balances. Equity share capital, the change is 0. Within bracket, if something they have written, it's a credit change. And without bracket, if they have written something, that's a debit change. Okay. Then we have debenture discount, freehold property, plant and machinery at cost, depreciation of plant and machinery, debtor, work in progress, creditors, net profit, dividend. All the credit figures are written in brackets. Credit figures, the figures which are written in bracket doesn't mean that they are negative figures. In this question, it represents credit change, and the figures which are written without credit represents debit change. And changes means the difference between the opening and closing balances. In all the previous questions which we have done so far, we used to be given a balance sheet, and wherein they used to give us separately the opening balance and closing balance, and we used to take the difference between the two balances as issue, redemption, and whatever. In this particular question, instead of giving us two separate columns, they've given directly the difference between the opening and the closing balance. Fine. Then they have given some adjustments. Capital reserve as at the end of the year represented realized profit on sale of one freehold property, together with surplus arising on revaluation of balance of freehold property. So they are telling in the capital reserve, there is some profit arised from the sale of freehold property, and there is some profit from the revaluation of freehold property. Then during the year, goods costing, plant costing 18,000, against which depreciation provision of 13,500 was lying, was sold for rupees 7,000. During the middle of the year, clearly they have told middle of the year. During the middle of the year, rupees 50,000 debentures were issued for cash at a discount of 1,000. The net profit for the year was up after crediting the profit on sale of plant and charging debenture interest. They are telling this net profit which they have given to us in the question. This net profit which they have given to us in the question, it is after profit on sale of plant. So profit on sale of plant has been put to net profit, has been put to P&L account. So net profit includes profit on sale of plant, and it is also after debenture interest. It is also after debenture interest. You are required to prepare a statement which will explain why bank borrowing has increased by 64,300 during the year. Now, basically, they are asking us to prepare a cash flow statement, because cash flow statement itself will serve as an explanation behind the movements in the cash and cash equivalents. So we will prepare one cash flow statement, and taxation they have asked us to ignore. All right. As usual, any question comes from a cash flow statement like this, what we will do, first we will set up the entire format. Cash flow statement. This is question number 31 of PQ Limited for the year ended they have not given the year ended. Then cash flow from operating activity. We'll leave some space. Then cash flow from investing activity. And finally, we will have cash flow from financing activity. Cash flow from financing activity. Correct, everybody? With this, we are going to add with the net cash flows. When we add opening CCE, we'll get closing CCE. So we have set up a basic small format for, we have set up a format for cash flow statement. Now we'll read the question top to bottom, line by line. But before that, necessary working notes also let us create. Like in this question, if you look at adjustment number one is talking about freehold property. So let us prepare one freehold property account. Then after preparing freehold property account, we have to prepare one plant account. After plant account, accumulated depreciation account. Accumulated depreciation account. Debit credit. Then that's it. And if any other account will be required, we will definitely prepare it for our understanding. start. First point, equity share capital. The difference between opening balance of equity share and closing balance of equity share capital is 0. Means if opening balance of equity share capital was 10,000, then closing balance is also 10,000. So there is neither issue nor redemption or buyback. Capital reserve. Capital reserve, opening balance and closing balance difference is 49,200. And that is also credit difference. Capital reserve has a naturally credit balance because all reserves generally have a credit balance. So since all reserves have a credit balance and the change is also credit change, a ledger account which naturally has a credit balance, and if the change is also credit change, this means the balance in this account has gone up by 49,200. Now what this 49,200 consists of two things. Number one is this 49,200 consists of profit on sale of freehold property, and it consists of a revaluation of freehold property. So what is the journal entry when we sell a freehold property? The journal entry is bank account debit to freehold property. This is the entry for sale. Now, what is the journal entry for profit on sale of freehold property? Freehold property account debit to PL. Instead of crediting it to P&L account, they have put it to capital reserve. They have put it to capital reserve. And the journal entry for revaluation of freehold property, when we revalue the freehold property, entry is freehold property account debit to revaluation reserve. Instead of revaluation reserve, they have put the amount to capital reserve. So profit on sale of freehold property and revaluation, upward revaluation of freehold property. For both of them, the entry recorded is same by the entity, freehold property to capital reserve. We know the amount of these two transactions, not individually, but cumulatively, 49,200. Because capital reserve comprises of profit on sale of freehold property as well as revaluation. And cumulatively, both of them together is 49,200. And the journal entry for both of them is freehold property account debit to capital reserve. But we don't know the value at which we have sold the freehold property. So what we are going to do, we are going to put this entry in the freehold property account. These three entries, we'll put it in the freehold property account. Number one being sale of freehold property by bank. We don't know the amount, so we'll put a question mark. And profit on sale of freehold property as well as upward revaluation of freehold property. Journal entry for both of them is freehold property account debit to capital reserve, and we know the amount for that. Although we don't know individually, but we know it separately. Sorry, we don't know individually, but we know it combined amount. So this comprises of profit on sale of freehold property as well as it comprises of profit on revaluation of freehold property. Right, all of you? Right, sir. Then, now all of you chartered accountants, after this, if you read the next point, just a moment. Debenture.
Account.
In debenture, there is a change in debenture balance by 50,000. First of all, what do you mean by change? Change means if this is the balance sheet, in all the previous questions, what they used to do, they used to tell us opening balance is suppose 1 lakh and closing balance is 1,50,000 debenture. Like this they used to give. So what we used to do? Acha, opening balance 1 lakh, closing balance 1 lakh 50. So the difference is 50,000. This means that during the current accounting period, we have issued debentures of 50,000. And then we used to write it in the financing activity issue of debenture. In this question, instead of giving us the opening and closing balances separately, they have given us directly the difference between opening and closing balance. And they have given this difference in brackets. Bracket means credit. Now listen carefully. This is a change and this is a credit change. Debenture naturally has which balance? Being a liability, it has a credit balance. And if the change is also credit change, this means it has the effect of increasing the liability. So our liability has increased during the year because of issue of debenture. So 50,000. So this is our issue of debenture. But it's not necessary that we have issued the debenture at face value. We can issue at premium also. We can issue at discount also. We can issue at par also. In cash flow statement, we have to write what we have received from the issue of debenture. So if we have issued the debenture at par, then we'll get 50,000. But if we have issued the debenture at discount, then we'll get less than 50,000. If we have issued the debenture at premium, we'll get more than 50,000. In this question, they have told that the debentures discount account balance has increased by 1,000 rupees. Number one. Debenture discount account balance has gone up by 1,000. Debenture discount is a loss. Losses have a naturally debit balance. And the change has also taken towards debit. The change is a discount. Debenture discount is a loss, and a loss has a natural debit balance, and the change is also a debit change. This means the balance in the debenture discount account during the year has gone up by 1,000. And question has told also that during the year, the debentures were issued for cash at the discount of 1,000. This means 50,000 rupees ka debentures which we issued, we didn't get 50,000, we received only 49,000. So 50,000 minus 1,000, 49,000. Now, it's a cash inflow. The rate of interest is 8%. And the debentures were issued in the middle of the year. So in the current accounting year, interest on debenture will be for 6 months. And interest on debenture is always calculated on the face value. And that interest on debenture would have been debited to P&L account. So it will be added back. Adjustment for non-cash items and non-operating items. Interest on debenture. Interest on debenture percentage is applied on the face value, and we have issued in the middle of the year. So in the current year, the interest on debenture that we would have incurred would be for 6 months. And that would come to around 60,000, 50,000 into 8% into 6 by 12 comes to 2,000. Next, this 2,000 will be added back in operating activity and it will be deducted in financing activity. because interest on debenture paid is a financing activity. Interest on debenture paid. Next. Now, all of you. What is the balance of discount on issue of debenture? 1,000. We have not written off any part of discount on issue of debenture in the current year. How did we get to know? We issued the debentures at a discount of 1,000. And still the balance in the debenture discount account is also 1,000. If we would have written off some part of discount on issue of debenture, then the change between the opening balance and closing balance would not have been 1,000. It would have been something else. Sir, we didn't understand. Please explain a little more in details, elaborately. All right, I will explain a little more in elaborately. The journal entry for issue of debenture is bank account debit. When we issue debenture, the journal entry is bank account debit 49,000, discount on issue of debenture account debit 1,000 to debenture account 8% debenture account 50,000. This is the journal entry when we issue debenture at a discount. Bank is an asset, we will receive money, so asset will increase, debit. Discount is a loss, so debit. And debenture is a liability. When liability goes up, we record it by crediting. And if I'm saying, if we would have written a part of this loss in the current year, if discount on issue of debenture would have been written off, then the entry would have been P&L account debit to discount on issue of debenture. If we would have written off, then the entry would have been P&L account debit to discount on issue of debenture. In that case, opening balance suppose is 0 to 8% debenture 1,000, and second entry by PL. If I'm saying, if you would have written off by PL 1,000, closing balance of discount account would have been 0, and in the balance sheet the discount account would be 0 opening, closing 0. So difference would also have been 0. But they are saying, no, the difference between opening and closing balance of debenture discount account is 1,000, positive 1,000. This means that we have not written off any part of discount on issue of debenture during the year. If we have not written off any part of discount on issue of debenture during the year, in that situation, your closing balance will come to 1,000. And if closing balance comes to 1,000, the difference between opening balance and closing balance would then be equal to, the change will be equal to 1,000, which would match with the information given in the question. So in the question, they are telling the difference between the opening balance of debenture discount and closing balance of debenture discount is 1,000. This means no part of debenture discount has been written off during the year. If no part has been written off during the year, and the P&L account in operating activity, in step number 2, we don't have to add back also anything. If some part of this debenture discount would have been written off, then it's a non-cash item. We would have added back over here. But no part of debenture discount has been written off, so we don't have to add back anything. How did we get to know that no part has been written off? It's clearly given in the question that the difference between the opening balance and the closing balance of debenture discount is 1,000. And in the current year, we issued also debentures at a discount of 1,000. And that 1,000 became the closing balance. So there is no writing of part in the current accounting period. Next. Freehold property. Freehold property has changed by 43,000 and that also it is a debit change. Any figure which is given without brackets represents debit change. Freehold property is an asset. And if in an asset account there is a debit change, then this means that closing balance is more than opening balance. If opening balance is 1 lakh, I'm just simply saying, say, then closing balance will be 1,43,000. So to understand this, what we can do, we can presume, suppose the opening balance is, just use the word suppose in exam. Suppose, you can take any figure. Suppose I'm taking it to be 1 lakh. Then what will be the closing balance? The difference between opening and closing balance is 43,000. So if opening balance is 1 lakh, closing balance will be 1,43,000. You can take anything as the opening balance, but ensure that the difference between the opening and closing balance is 43,000. So I am assuming that suppose the opening balance is 1 lakh, a standard assumption I have taken. So closing balance will be 1,43,000. Now you may ask, sir, why not 1 lakh minus 43? Why did you do 1 lakh plus 43? The reason is there is a debit change in freehold property. The change is given without brackets. This means there is a debit change, and freehold property is an asset. Whenever an asset account has a debit change, this means the balance in the asset account has increased. So closing balance is more than opening balance. So if opening balance is 1 lakh, then closing balance will not be less than 1 lakh. It will be 1,43,000. All right. If you observe, the only thing which is missing in this account is sale of freehold property during the year. That can come as a balancing figure, which is 6,200. This will be put in investing activity. 1,49,200. This question, they have not given us opening and closing balance separately. Rather, they gave us the difference between the opening balance and closing balance of the balance sheet. So, if a particular item is an asset, and if the difference in the change column is given as a debit change, it means the balance in that account has increased. Closing balance is more than opening balance. If that item is a reserve or a liability, and if the difference in the change column, they have written the amount within brackets, that's a credit change. Reserve and liability naturally has a credit balance. So credit change means the balance in those accounts have increased. Closing balance is more than opening balance. You can take any assumption as opening balance and just write within bracket in exam, suppose, say, and closing balance will be arrived after. Ensure that the difference between opening and closing balance is what is given in that change column. So 6,200 is balancing figure, money received from sale of freehold property, which will put it in investing activity. Sale of freehold property. $6,200. Next, plant and accumulated depreciation on plant. So again, we will take that standard assumption. Let us take the opening balances to be say 1 lakh. To balance brought down, suppose it is 1 lakh. You can take even 10,000 also. And opening balance of accumulated depreciation Don't take different figures. Take a standard opening assumption figure in entire question. Suppose is 1 lakh. Just you have to ensure that the difference between opening and closing balance is equal to what is given in that change column. That is what you have to ensure. They are telling plant, in case of plant account, they are telling 60,000 is the change and it is a debit change. Plant is an asset, and if the change is debit change, means the difference between opening balance and closing balance is debit change. It means the balance in the plant account has increased. It means that the closing balance of plant is more than opening balance of plant. So if opening balance is 1 lakh, then closing balance will be 1,60,000. If opening balance is 1 lakh, then closing balance will be 1,60,000. Similarly, accumulated depreciation account has a naturally credit balance, and the change is also credit change. An account which has a naturally credit balance, and if the change is also credit change, this means that the balance in that account has gone up. Means closing balance is more than opening balance. Coincidentally, what is happening in case of all the ledger accounts, there is a positive change, means the balance has increased. If they would have given no, in case of plant, if they would have given this 60,000 within brackets, plant is an asset account. Asset account has a naturally debit balance. An account which has a natural debit balance, if the change is a credit change, this means the balance in that account has decreased. Then in that case, if opening balance is 1 lakh, then closing balance we would have taken as 40,000. But whatever till now items we have done, in all those items, the change is a favorable change. The balance is increasing. Closing balance is more than opening balance. What to do? This is how they have framed the question. So accumulated depreciation account has a naturally credit balance, and there is a credit change in the accumulated depreciation account balance of 14,400. So if opening balance is 1 lakh, then closing balance will be 1,14,400. Closing balance is more than opening balance. So if they would have given us two separate balance sheets, then in the opening column, accumulated depreciation would have been written 1 lakh. In the closing column, it would have been written 1,14,400. So balance and accumulated depreciation has increased by 14,400. And since accumulated depreciation has a credit balance, so we would have said that the change is credit change. An account which naturally has a credit balance, to increase that account ka balance, we have to credit. So that change is referred to as credit. Then in the adjustment, they are saying, during the year, a plant costing 18,000 was sold, on which depreciation of 13,000 was provided, and it was sold for 7,000. So whenever we sell a fixed asset on which accumulated depreciation account is maintained, then we have to pass the following three entries. Number one entry, for transfer of accumulated depreciation related to the asset sold to the asset account. For transfer of accumulated depreciation to fixed asset account. So the entry for sale of asset, when accumulated depreciation account is maintained on that asset, then three entries have to be recorded. First, the asset which we have sold, on that asset, whatever depreciation the entity has provided in the lifetime is lying in the accumulated depreciation account. Take it out from there and put it to fixed asset account. So balance and accumulated depreciation account will decrease. So we have to debit. So accumulated depreciation account debit to fixed asset account. To fixed asset account. The total depreciation on the asset disposed in its lifetime given is 13,500. Second entry is for sale. The entry for sale of fixed asset is bank account debit to fixed asset account. This is the entry for sale of fixed asset. 7,000. And third entry is for profit or loss. Profit or loss on sale of plant and machinery will always be compared by taking the difference between book value of asset sold, book value, not original cost, and sale value. They have given us the original cost of the asset. We originally purchased the asset for 18,000, but then we used it in the business and we have already provided depreciation of 13,500 on that asset. So on the date when we sold the asset, the book value of the asset is 18,000 minus 13,500. 4,500 is the book value of the asset on the date when we sold the asset. And we sold it for, we have sold it for 7,000. So there is a profit on sale of 2,500 rupees. That profit will be credited to P&L account. Entry will be plant account debit to profit on sale of fixed asset, which will be put to PL. 2,500. Now, these three entries which we have recorded, we'll do the posting of these three entries in the above two ledger accounts. First one, plant account by accumulated depreciation, 13,500, and two, plant account, 13,500. Second one, bank account debit to fixed asset account. So by bank account 7,000. It's a cash inflow. So it will be recorded in investing activity. Third one, profit to profit on sale of fixed asset. Profit on sale 4,500. This profit on sale of plant would have been put to P&L account. So our net profit includes this profit, but this profit is not a profit arising from operating activity, so we have to minus it. Let's do those stuffs. First, in investing activity, we'll write sale of plant is 7,000, and then profit on sale of plant working note. You give reference of the working note number 4,500. You have to minus it. All right, sir. Now let us close these two accounts, and if it is tallying, fine. If it is not tallying, then the difference would be either purchase or, let's see, 1,80,500, 1,80,500 minus 1,04,500. 76,000, the difference is coming, and that difference would be purchase of plant. The difference would be purchase of plant. Actually, the profit on sale of plant is 2,000, 500. I wrote by mistake 4500. So our balance figure will be 78,000. Purchase of plant. And this purchase of plant will come in investing activity. So we put it in investing activity. Purchase of plant. $78,000. Again, we'll give a reference of the working note in which we have got this information. I will just rectify it. Actually, this is 2,500, not 4,500. Fine. Now, accumulated depreciation account balancing figure will be current year depreciation. Balancing figure will be current year depreciation. So that will be 13,500 plus 114400, 127,900 minus 1,27,900. This is current year depreciation. Balancing figure. And this will be added back in operating activity. So in operating activity, we will add back depreciation on plant. Again, refer working note. 27,900. Now, one doubt which may be coming or which you may have is profit on sale of freehold property. We did minus in operating activity, but profit on sale of plant we deducted in operating activity. The reason is profit on sale of freehold property was not put to P&L account, it was put to capital reserve. So it is not included in net profit, so we didn't minus it. See, in P&L account, any income, any expense, any gain, any loss which relates to other activities would be eliminated to find out the profit from operating activity. But if any income, any expense you didn't put to P&L account, then that net profit doesn't include those things. So we don't even have to minus anything or eliminate anything. This is the reason profit on sale of freehold property, since it didn't go to PL, since it was put to capital reserve, we didn't eliminate it. But profit on sale of plant was put to P&L account, so we have eliminated it. So this done, this also done. Now let us come back to the original question. Next is debtor. The debtor balance has increased by 50,000. Now, how do I come to know that debtor balance has increased by 50,000? How do I get to know that closing balance is more than opening balance? Because this is a debit change. And debtor is an asset. And asset account has a naturally debit balance. And if the change is also debit, this means the balance in the debtor account has increased. Closing balance is more than opening balance. And provision for bad debts, we always deduct provision for bad debts whenever it exists from the debtor. And in the working capital changes, we take the difference between the two. Difference is 46,700. So in working capital changes, we will take the net amount. Step number 3, adjustment for working capital changes. And it is debtor, increase in net debtors. Increase in net debtors. 50,000 minus provision 3,300, 46,700. We'll write it as a negative figure, inverse relationship. Next, logic I have already explained in the class. Work stock has also increased. Again, a debit change is there, and naturally stock has a debit balance. It is an asset, and if the change is also debit, this means the balance in the stock account as compared to the opening balance has gone up. Closing balance is more than opening balance. It has gone up by 38,400. It will come in working capital changes, increase in stock. Again, a negative figure, 38,500. Next. Creditor balance has also gone up. Creditor is a liability. It has a naturally credit balance and the change is also credit. So increase in creditor. Current liability has a direct relationship. So if current liability has increased, we'll write it as a positive figure, 11,800. And then we have net profit during the year. Since they have told us to ignore tax, so this profit will be considered as profit before tax and extraordinary item. Anyways, there is no extraordinary item. So net profit for the year 76,500. And profit has a credit balance. This is the reason they have given within brackets. And they have clearly told whatever figures are given in brackets represents credit balance. 76,500. It's already given in the question. Dividend paid. Dividend paid would be recorded in financing activity. So we'll write dividend paid in financing activity. Dividend paid. To which year it is related, it doesn't matter, because we prepare cash flow statement on cash basis. Whatever we have paid during the year will be recorded. To which year it is related doesn't matter. Next. Then they are saying trade investments has increased by 47,000. If trade investments have increased by 47,000, we have purchased during the year investments of 47,000. So purchase of investments. $47,000 cash outflow. Next. This is the amount by which the opening and closing bank balance has changed. So this is nothing but net cash flow. Till now, whatever questions we did, they used to give us balance sheet. And then in the balance sheet, they used to give us opening bank. And they used to give us closing bank. Opening bank we used to add with the net cash flow. And closing bank we used to minus with the opening bank we used to add with the net cash flow to arrive at the closing bank. Instead of giving us opening and closing figures separately, they have given the difference between the opening and closing figure, which is 64,300, and this is what will be equal to net cash flow. Then adjustments, all the adjustments done. All right, so time to pack up. Pack up my working note 1, 2, 3 done. Yes, all working notes done. Now just you have to start the backup of the main solution. So let's do the backup of the main solution. Number 1. This is our cash from generated from operations before working capital changes. Cash from operations before working capital changes. 76,500 plus 2,000 minus 2,500 plus 27,900. And any doubts will be there, especially regarding these type of questions. Please do ask all of you. Next. We have 30,500. This is only our net cash flow from operating activity because taxes are not there. Positive 30,500. Then we have investing activity. So in investing activity, we will have 6,200 plus 7,000 minus 78,000 minus 47,000. It's coming to 1,118,000. 1,118,000. That also negative. That's called net cash flow from investing activity. Net cash flow from investing activity. Now comes the last activity, which is financing activity. Okay, in case of financing activity, we have 49,000 minus 2,000 minus 30,000. It comes to 17,000 positive. Net cash flow from financing activity. So 17,000 plus 30,500 minus 1,118,000. Guys, 64,300. They have not given us opening CC and closing CC. They have given us the difference between opening CC and closing CC, and it is matching. This 64,300 is nothing but for every asset they have given us the difference between opening and closing balances. Bank account ka bhi opening and closing balance ka difference is 64,300, and they are asking explain why there is a difference of 64,300. So this cash flow statement will serve as an explanation that why there is a difference of 64,300. This statement is an explanation. This statement will tell us that operating activity may we have generated a cash of 3,400. On investing activity, we have used cash of 1,118,000, and in financing activity, we have generated cash of 17,000, because of which there is a movement of 64,300 in the opening and closing balance of bank. Okay, copy all of you. I will show you the screen for around 5 seconds. I will wait, and then you can copy every page. You can pause and copy. This is this completes our question number 31, which is an important question, a different type of question. This is just a self note, you can say. It's a part of self note.